Okay, you've seen this probably, 1,000 times. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. The marketplace is the people, and the value is in two parts. Once you understand this, the world is yours. The value you bring, like a product or service, employment. And the second is the value you become. This can make you a living. This can make you a fortune. I learned that little economic outline when I was 25 years old. Really changed my life. And if you work for a company that keeps working on the product, they'll keep making the product better. The key for your better future is to keep making yourself better. Economics in America is very simple. It starts at $5 an hour. Called what? Minimum wage. And then it just goes up like this. Top income last year, I think, 36 million. Somebody earned for 1 year's work. So from $5 an hour up to 36 million, that's economics in America. No wonder everybody wants to come here. Guess what we call that? A heck of a ladder. I mean, that's, what else could you call it? Now, here's something that changed my life forever. When I found out at age 25 that my income was primarily determined by my philosophy, not the economy. So make that note now, and if you know it, that's wonderful. If you teach it, that's even better. Your income is primarily determined by your philosophy, not the economy. I had no concept of that when I was 25 years old. I would have sworn to you, because when my mentor said to me, "How come you're not doing well?" I showed him my paycheck. I said, "Look, this is all the company pays." He said, "No, that's all the company pays you." I thought, well, that's a new way to look at it. So, speaking of philosophy, how would you go from $5 an hour to $6 an hour? Let me give you some examples on philosophy that can get you from $5 an hour to $6 an hour. Here's number one. Wait for the government to change the minimum wage. That's simple and easy, right? If you wait long enough, sure enough, the government will change the minimum wage, let's say, to $6. Now, by law, the company must pay you $6, so you're home free. You say, yes, but how long will it take? Answer, I'm sure much longer than you want to wait. But that's the first philosophy, wait for the government. Here's number two, wait for the company to pay you $6 an hour. How long will that take? How often is the review? 6 months, 1 year, let's say you don't make it. Second year, say, well, that's a long time to go from 5 to 6. It is a long time, but that's the next philosophy, wait for the company. Here's the third philosophy, and that's to go on strike. We call it the philosophy of demand. I demand $6 or I won't work. Now, if you're by yourself, this is a risky philosophy. If you've got 1,000 people now to take with you to the company and say, all 1,000 of us will not work unless we get $6, now you might have a chance. But by yourself, this philosophy doesn't work very well. The philosophy of demand only works by collective bargaining, we call it. Okay? And it does work. However, it's very limiting. You might get an extra penny or two, you might get an extra dollar, you might get an extra benefit, but it's very limiting, the philosophy of demand. And here's what for sure, jot this down. Using the philosophy of demand, you cannot get rich if getting rich is of interest to you. You can't get rich using this philosophy. Gosh, it's so sad when somebody is in the right country and they got the wrong philosophy. So you can't get rich by demand. So now, what would be the next philosophy that might work better for all of us, and I'm sure it's one of the reasons why all of us got here to this room today. Here it is, the philosophy of performance. The philosophy of performance simply states, I will perform so well, arriving early, staying late, doing all the extra things, that the company would easily be justified in paying me $6. My father gave one of the greatest seminars in a simple little sentence. Here's what Papa said. I wish he was here to say it, but since he's gone, I'll say it for him. Here's what he said. Always do more than you get paid for. Now, some unions would argue with us on that point and say, no, that messes up the system. But this is what Papa said. Always do more than you get paid for to make an investment in your future. These are philosophies to follow. Your income is determined primarily by your philosophy. See, that changes everything. It was your philosophy that got you here today, right? Maybe 5 years ago, you wouldn't have attended a class like this. So, hey, why waste the time? It's the same old stuff over and over again. So you didn't go. Then something happened, something changed. You decided, wow, now I understand just one good idea could multiply my income in my future by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10. All of that good stuff can happen. So now you attend everything you can. And if you consistently go to everything you can, make this note. Some occasions will be life-changing. If you consistently go to the sermon on Sunday morning, consistently go to the classes, consistently go to opportunities like this where good ideas are being discussed, some heavyweight ideas that can multiply your future dramatically, if you just keep consistently going. Some of the occasions will be ordinary, some will be standard, and some will be life-changing, depending on the timing. Who knows the timing and for this audience here today? Who knows? We've all heard the phrase, nothing so powerful as an idea whose time has come. 15 years ago in Germany, the walls came tumbling down. The time for capitalism now sweeping the world and communism on the run. But here's another way to put it. Make this note. Nothing so powerful as an idea that comes at the right time. At the right time for you. It's like having a lock that needs 4 numbers dialed in. Maybe before you got here today, you had 3 of those numbers dialed in. You've been looking now for that 4th number. And who knows? Not because I'm doing the seminar, but because, you know, the occasion was right and the lights were right and the atmosphere was right. And the neighbors you've discovered here in this seminar setting were right. And Jim Rohn said it as best he could, and that was right. And all of it came together. And for you, this becomes an extraordinary day. And you find today maybe that 4th number. And the lock comes open and there's the door for new prosperity, new surge in progress, understanding what you didn't understand before. And I hope for a lot of you today, this could be that 4th number. This could be one of those days you look back and say, that was one of the days that turned my life around. Whether it's a challenging day or a day like today. You've heard my Girl Scout cookie story, right? All those years ago, I got this little family. I'm not doing well. I'm struggling. I'm 25 years old. I hear this knock on my door. I go to the door. There's a little girl about this tall selling Girl Scout cookies. She gives me the big pitch. Best organization in the world, the Girl Scout. We got these cookies, $2 for a box of cookies, several flavors. What do you want? And with a big smile, she very politely asked me to buy. No problem. I wanted to buy. Big problem. I didn't have $2 in my pocket. And I didn't want to tell her that. I'm a grown man. I'm 25 years old. I've been to 1 year of college. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I got a little family. I live in America. And I don't have $2 in my pocket. So I didn't want to tell her that. So I thought next best. I lied to her. And I said, hey, look, we've already bought lots of Girl Scout cookies. We've still got plenty in the house we haven't eaten yet. She said, okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. And she leaves. When she leaves, I say to myself, I don't want to live like this anymore. I mean, how low can you get lying to a Girl Scout? I mean, right? There ain't no lower, believe me. This is it. I was just so happy it was not on the world stage. It was just me and the Girl Scout and God, which is enough. I promised myself that day it would never, ever happen again. So some days are dramatic, some days are traumatic, and then some days explode progress like you've never seen it before. So I don't know what kind of a day this is for you, but if I choose good words and share good ideas in a good manner, with sincerity and hopefulness that maybe this is the right day for some of you, no telling what stories may come spinning out of this session here today. So, economics, pretty simple to understand, bring value to the marketplace. And the biggest part is the value you become. Working on your philosophy and all those other things. Let's go up this ladder now just to illustrate a point. Is it possible to multiply your income by 10? All kids need to hear this. It's not being taught, I don't think, in the local schools. You have to come to a Jim Rohn seminar to hear this. I never heard it until I was 25. It's possible to multiply your income by 10. If we searched around the Palm Springs area, could we find somebody that makes $50 an hour? And the answer is yes, of course. So it's possible to multiply your income by 10. Could you multiply it by 10 again? That's $500 an hour. If we searched around this area, would we have to search very long until we find someone that makes $500 an hour? No. Everybody agrees. So it's not only possible to multiply your income by 10, it's possible to multiply by 10 again. Now, would it be possible to multiply it by 10 again? $5,000 an hour. What do you suppose I get paid? It's not open for public disclosure. I've lectured with, Schwarzkopf and Colin Powell and Henry Kissinger and all the rest. They get paid well. Schwarzkopf gets $65,000 for a 1-hour speech. So all you have to do is become a general in the Army, win the Gulf War, you get $65,000 for a 1-hour speech. Bill Clinton gets what? $125,000 for a 1-hour speech. And then this just keeps on going, on up to the stratosphere. Someone earned $36 million last year for 1 year's work. So that's the ladder. Now, jot this down. To climb this ladder as high as you wish. And you got to underline the word wish. Because part of your future now is what you wish and what you want. How much property will they let you own in America? As much as you want. This is wish-want country. You've dropped into the right place. As much as you want, as much as you wish. And not to have any, when you live in a country where you can have as much as you want and as much as you wish, see, wouldn't that be puzzling to people outside the country? As much as you wish. To climb this ladder as high as you wish in terms of bringing value to the marketplace and becoming valuable to the marketplace as high as you wish. Here's all you have to do, and Don and Greg heard it all those years ago, and it's a simple analysis, but it's so true. Here it is, one more time. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That's the simple philosophy that changed my life forever starting age 25. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living, which is fine. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune, which is super fine. Everything changed for me when I understood this philosophy. I didn't mind working hard on my job, but things didn't seem to change that much. Then I started working hard on myself to qualify. So let me put it in a philosophical phrase now. This is worth the price of whatever it costs for you to be here today. Here it is. Success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by becoming attractive. Here's what we teach in leadership. To attract attractive people, you must be attractive. And the whole scope of this we call now personal development. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. If you can multiply your value by 3, by 5, you can easily multiply your income by 3, by 5, by 10. But the key to doing it is to work hard on yourself.